What is going on, everybody? Brent Abel here at goldballhunting.com. That young buck over there, the wandering Northern California tennis pro. Have pro will travel.
Yeah.
Jeff Jacklich. And we got something today we want to talk to you guys about how you kind of pull out a stinker, right? You kind of thrown up some slop and you're down a set in a break, and we're going to help you recover from that situation. So guys, hang in there with us. Another episode of the Gold Ball Hunting Podcast. So the big question is this: how are tennis players like us who never played in the tour, weren't incredible juniors, or maybe got a late start to the game, how do we consistently compete at our highest skill level without having to grind through endless hours of on-court practice time and still be in the hunt for victory match after match? That is the question, and Gold Ball Hunting gives you the answers by helping you eliminate your skill level range so that you build a strong foundation of confidence. My name is Brent Abel, and along with my biz partner, Jeff Jacklich, welcome to Gold Ball Hunting. All right, guys, well, listen, thank you for hanging out with us again today. Another episode of the Gold Ball Hunting Podcast. And yeah, I mean, gosh, Jeff, I've been down a set in the break in singles and or doubles.
Yeah.
To a guy or to a team or maybe a mixed doubles thing where, you know what, God, I should be beating this guy.
Yeah.
Or we should be beating this team over there, but we're just slopping it up and just making bonehead after bonehead error. And the more we do it, it's like the more frustration builds.
Right.
And the more you want to just go, God, what am I doing out here?
Right.
Right? And you're looking around and, you know, and it's not like it's some guy or some opponent who's way better.
Right. No.
I mean, it's like
the frustration in the moment. The frustration in the moment is that there's nothing going on the other side of the net.
Yeah. It's all based on me, right? It's all based on me. And I think a lot of players who are sort of ascending up the skill level ladder in tournaments and or wanting to get better at the league stuff kind of assume that all the better players, they just go out there every day. And look, we've talked about the skill level range forever, but it's kind of like those guys go out there every day and they're completely predictable as to how they're going to play, especially against someone who's their own skill level or maybe a hair below.
Right.
And the way that you start reducing your skill level range is dealing with reality. You're going to have some matches where either that guy or that gal over there comes out of the blocks, even though they're not as good as you on paper.
Right.
They come out of the blocks. They can't miss a freaking thing. They get a couple of lucky let cords. You chunk an easy sitter at a 40-30 hold serve point. And the next thing you know is you lost first set 6-2 and you're down 2-0 in the second and it's going fast.
Right.
And so I think the better players know what to do in that situation to minimize the damage and kind of at least get it back to where it's close, rather than thinking, well, I've got to raise my game up here so I can just blow this guy or this gal off or this team out because, look, I'm rated this and they're rated that. And how is it possible?
How is it? Why does this person even think they should be out here beating me?
That's right.
Right? How is that even entering into the equation? Right. I think that, this is one of those situations that happens a lot. It happens more often than people want to admit.
Well, look, I've been in this situation. I mean, I hate to say it, but I've been there a lot.
Yeah.
And especially when I was sort of working my way up to becoming a good player, I would get there a lot. And then I would I don't know if it was panicking or just anger or just, God, come on.
Right.
And that whole thing just made it worse. And then, you'd lose the match and just go, I don't know if I got the stomach for this game because this is ridiculous. How can I lose to this guy?
Right.
And then as I got better, I just started accepting reality. That's the way this game, maybe other games are different.
Right.
But this game works this way where you I mean, you're clearly better than this guy, and yet for some reason there's a whole bunch of dynamics that are
Right,
just conspiring. I mean, at least it seems like it's conspiring
right.
against you. And if you don't handle it right, it's going to be the big L. I mean, you're going to come out with a
Yeah.
loss.
And
And so for me, I guess what I learned, Jeff, and I'll shut up here and let you talk here in a second.
that's okay.
That's right.
You go, baby.
I know, man. Well, I think what I learned is that number one, this is the way that the game of tennis can go sometimes, and that really what my job is to right now is to not think, well, how is it possible? How could I have missed that shot? The guy's never hit that up the line backhand before for a winner at set point.
Right.
How is this possible? And so it's just the acceptance of reality. That's the way this game works sometimes. And that my job, my focus has got to be, what do I have to do right now at this moment? Not to overcome everything,
No.
but just to, at least if I'm down a break in the second, to keep some scoreboard pressure on there.
Right.
I'm at least holding serve. And maybe what's happening is that guy over there is going, wow, I shouldn't be beating this guy, but I sure am. And now the next thing you know is the scoreboard pressure is constant for a couple of games,
Right.
maybe 3 or 4 games. And then there's a little chink in the armor.
Right.
But there won't be any chink in the armor if you try to overcome it and play great and blow the guy off. You got to let him participate, which is tough because you have to trust that.
Right.
I have to kind of say, look, if he's going to play this well for like 90 minutes, now what do I do?
I guess I got to make the match go 91 minutes.
That's right.
Well, I know that sounds silly, but in those situations, you got to slow things down. You got to make the end of the match. I know we've talked about this, in earlier episodes, but not to this degree, where you got to make the end of the match farther away. You got to extend the match somehow. And one of the biggest, let's say, it's not even a temptation, but because you're already emotionally in it, is that you're now emotionally attached to the outcome. You're emotionally attached to the fact that this person is not as good as me and they're beating me. And how is that possible? And, God, I'm just playing so bad today. And maybe that's really not the case. It's just a few things happened in the first set that didn't go your way. And then you flipped and you emotionally became attached to the outcome about not losing to this guy or this gal. And that's where then you kind of slide, you go down the rabbit trail and you don't even know you're going down the rabbit trail. And it just mentally and emotionally, the whole thing starts to slide away. Next thing you know, like you said, you're down a set and a break going, in the early part of the second set. And so you've got to be able to literally turn your back on the first set in the 2 games and regroup. But it has to be, you've got to be detached from the outcome. You got to be detached from the emotional connection of all the external input that you're allowing to be part of the equation, i.e., the guys are watching, the gals are watching, i.e., what are they going to think of the blah blah blah? I'm the 9th seed and this guy's not seeded, and I'm a this and I'm a that, and he's a nothing or she's a nothing. All that stuff just starts to build just like dynamite, and the fuse is getting shorter and shorter, right, before the whole thing explodes in front of you. So we've got to be able to detach from that and go, wait a second, like you said, what is the task at hand? What would happen if I made 4 returns this game? What would happen if I put, and maybe the game takes longer than 4 points, right? What would happen if I didn't miss a return this game and just shoved the ball back up the center of the court every stinking time and made this guy touch the ball? So now all of a sudden, maybe he even wins his service game, but you know what? That game lasted 10 minutes.
Right.
I'm pushing, by doing that, I'm pushing the end of the match farther away.
Right.
And I'm making him be a little bit more involved. And can I get him to that point, like you just said, oh my gosh, I just beat Brent Abel the first set. I'm up a break against Brent Abel. And now all of a sudden, this isn't going as planned now. He was just missing all these balls before, and now he's not, right? Brent's not missing all those balls. He's put every return in the court now of that game. And so the only way to flip it is to get that guy involved a little bit emotionally, but the only way to do that is to make the end of the match farther away. being
Well,
bold.
no, I think the key um, is not trying to overcome all the damage that's happened. I think too often what happens is, well, there's all this stuff that's happened in the past, and the past being the last set,
Right.
and it's a bunch of garbage, right? It's a bunch of, oh God, it just stinks, and it's just bad. But too often when I see players do, and I used to do this, where I would go, I have to
Right.
play, like, if the garbage first set is like on a scale of 1 to 10, a 3, then for the second set, I need to make sure I play up to like an 8, to
Right.
make sure that I've now overcome that
Right.
aberration, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but it's just, I guess what I've learned is that there's just some matches that you can't look at the opponents in terms of, well, on paper, on average, yeah, Brent, you should be beating this guy 2-2 every time.
Right. Right.
And those 4 games they won are just because maybe you made a couple of errors or something like this, and the guy dinged a couple lucky ones. It doesn't work that way.
No.
It just doesn't work that way, and it's so easy to get caught up in all the garbage that we right,
Yeah.
all the social stuff, all the baloney,
Right.
and we just got to be careful. So,
Yeah.
well, good stuff.
I was going to throw this in there. The thing is too is if you do pull it out, you may have to get off that court, and if you do pull the match out, you may feel like, I need to go hit for 20 minutes. I know for me, sometimes I need to go do that at the end. I need to go be on a court, fully relaxed, and just hit some balls, because you know what? I got to play tomorrow. And I don't want this like lingering energy to be on me, kind of. I'm drenched in it, even though I pulled out the match. I don't feel like I played well, but like consistently. Maybe I finished a little better, but still I'm not feeling really great about striking the ball. So I might go out and hit for 15, 20 minutes, not like a big session, but just somebody get me out there and let me just swing free. And then, okay, I've got it off me. Good. Okay, now let's go get dinner. Let's do whatever we need to do, and I'll come back tomorrow. Tomorrow's another day. But anyway, that's just, sometimes you got to go do that.
No, totally. I mean, that's right. So, well, look, guys, would love to hear from you down below in the comments area, or wherever you are as you're consuming this episode, Gold Ball Hunting Podcast. What happens to you, right? You get down, and this is assuming you're playing someone that, golly, I mean, you ought to be beating this guy at least 9 out of 10 times. I guess that would be every time, if it's at least 9 out of 10.
At least.
At least 9 out of 10. What's on your mind? Where do you want help with this stuff? Let us know in the comments area. Guys, if you want to jump on a free private coaching call, Jeff and I are offering that to you, especially for tournament players or those league guys and gals who are trying to move up the next rating label. Let's zero in on that one thing in your game right now that we can pinpoint to really get you to kind of figure out, well, if you really spent the next 30, 60, 90 days on that one thing, this could be a big game changer for you in terms of really getting you focused down on that one thing that you need to work on. It could be that the one thing isn't something to correct.
Yeah.
It's just that you're so good at this one thing. How can we put you in a position strategically or tactically so you could be able to have an opportunity to do a whole lot more of that one thing?
Right.
And that's a thing. That's a thing that actually helps you win more, is simply just do more of what you're really good at. All right, Jeff. Oh, well, so getting that call, just go over to goldballhunting.com. First name, email address, click the button, you get access to our online calendar scheduler. If you're already on our email list, well done. Any one of the emails you receive from us, there's a link in there that will take you to the online calendar scheduler. You can pick a date and time that works best for you. Jeff, what do we want fine folks to do right now?
Like us, share us, please subscribe. Let us know what you think down below. iTunes, Stitcher, rate and review, goldballhunting.com. Share, spread the word, share the link, do whatever, write it on a t-shirt, something.
Yeah. I mean, in fact, speaking of doing, more things that you do really well, that would be an easy thing for you to start right now. Just sharing goldballhunting.com.
Yeah.
And just do a lot of that. Just do a lot of it.
Do a lot of it.
Guys, get out there today. Help someone else have a spectacular day. Jeff, tomorrow, let's do this again.
Can't wait.